which retails at around 1,000, with the ability to process the quality of the sound. So as you can see, our audio department has done a lot, and this time around there is no exception. And here's what they did: 1.04 cc, the biggest sound chamber. In fact, the bigger the chamber is, the better the quality is of the sound is. So this time with Mi-9 Pro, we installed in it the biggest sound chamber in history, 1.04 cc, and we also introduced a true wireless Bluetooth earpiece. This can definitely rival any model produced by our competitors. To start with, our cell phone, our earpiece are both supportive of LHDC, Bluetooth, high resolution sound that offers much better experience, very easy to use because with the press of just one button, you get connected almost instantly. Like other Xiaomi products, it's very price friendly, just at 399 RMB. And with Xiaoai, Xiaoai is something that we have been doing exceedingly well over the last Mi-I is something that we have been doing exceedingly well over the past month. And as of the end of the last month, our active monthly users are 49 million, almost the country's #1. This AI-enabled assistant what's special about it is the more people use it, the easier it is to use, because that way you'll be able to collect a lot more information. Mi-I is so popular. That's mainly because of the hard work from our Mi-I department, and also because we've got a lot of terminals, stereo, cell phone, almost all the devices are supportive of Mi-I, and as a result, the voice-based interaction becomes increasingly popular. Not long ago, I also strongly recommended our team to work on something very different. And this is infrared enabled. Probably you'd say I buy Mi-I because I want to use household appliances, but what can I do with it if those devices are not connected onto the internet? Well, it does not matter anymore because this is internet connected, infrared controlled, and it's supportive of almost all models of household appliances, which means even when your current household appliances are not connected to the internet, you can still use this Voice Box Pro to control this. For instance, a reconditioner, air conditioning. Okay, now this is the biggest moment. What kind of improvement have there been? Is that interesting? Is that fun to have? A boy's voice, a male voice. I asked the designer, why do we need it? Well, they said because when it comes, we don't just have a female assistant, but also male assistant. This is about gender equality. I've also been told by girls, when I talk to Xiaoai, when I talk to girls, if I am talking to a girl, it feels a little awkward, and I guess it might be more interesting if I were able to talk to a boy. So here it is. And This is already the 3.0 version, and with this version, you were able to engage with him continuously and very naturally. What do I mean by that? In the past, every time you start a command, you will have to start with me, I. That is repetitive, that is boring, but now you don't need to repeat it every single time. And you can cut the conversation short anytime you want. For instance, this is an example to order McDonald's with me, I.
我要吃麦当劳，需要点什么呢？我要一颗大颗的麦辣鸡。
It has a lot of uses. For instance, it can answer the phone call.
机主语接听，正通过小爱智能助手和你通话，有什么事？你说。
快递到了，家里有人吗？
不在家，你给我放在收点吧。
好的，再见。
Interesting or funny? If the function is further improved, it is able to answer the phone call for you. And also, my colleague prepared a complete video clip to introduce MiEye 3.0. Let's have a look at it. MiEye is really naughty. So that is Mi 9 Pro. What highlights does it have? It has a Snapdragon 855 Plus VC cooling, liquid cooling, 12GB RAM, and 512GB ROM. 4,000 mAh triple fast charge system and a super large horizontal linear motor, AMOLED, and it is a very light and thin 5G flagship smartphone. In addition, we give the consumer 1 year of free use of 1 TB of Mi Cloud capacity. As it is really informative, so I will put all the key points here and you can take pictures and you can read them carefully afterwards. Our price. That is also the most tricky issue for me. Actually, I don't know. Actually, there have been a lot of people attacking Xiaomi online. They said that the price of Xiaomi 5G smartphone will be the same as 4G smartphone of Xiaomi. I think it doesn't make sense. Maybe you don't know the price of 5G smartphones of other mobile phone makers. After the independence of Redmi or spin-off Redmi business from the head office, we have been working on the high-end market, but still we provide products at a friendly price. But we will not be stuck in the price comparison or competition. The 5G technology has just started. R&D cost is really high, and the 5G module cost is 1,000 higher than 4G. Just a 5G module. So it is impossible to sell a 5G smartphone at the price of a 4G smartphone if you do not suffer from losses. But if you engage in such a price war to suffer from the losses, it will not be sustainable for the company. Mi 9 Pro has new functions over Mi 9 and also has this 5G module. So let's look at the price of Mi 9. On the Xiaomi online store, the price is 2,799. And also, Mi 9 has some new functions here. So what is the price? To be honest, we want to price it at 3,999, but many people criticized us. And I have been thinking that it is possible for us to provide the price as they said, but still we want to give people a chance to experience 5G smartphone as early as possible. So indeed, but still it is impossible to price it as a level of 4G smartphone. But still we have made a lot of efforts. 3,699 yuan. I believe, I'm sure, this price shows how sincere we are. And more importantly, 5G has just started. Many people have not experienced the functionalities of 5G smartphone. That we just launched this very first 5G Mi phone. We really want more people to appreciate the charm of 5G mobile phone, and we provide 4 versions with different storage. 8 GB and 12 GB. And the prices are here. You can take photos. I recommend these 2 versions. One is 8 GB and 256, and 12 GB plus 512 GB. So compared to the 4G version of Mi 9, the 8 GB plus 256 GB is only 600 yuan higher. And the 12 GB plus 512 GB, the price. Three days later, or on Friday, it is on sale on all channels. Many thanks to the 3 major operators. And if you buy Mi 9 Pro, you can apply for a free data up to 100 gigabytes. Mi 9 Pro features not only 5G and top configurations. When we talked about hardware, we focus too much on that. But apart from it, we also have this MIUI. How powerful is it? I would like to give you Jin Fan, the leader of MIUI. All the information here on the products, parameters, and system is only for the Chinese market only. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and also those audience who are watching the live stream. Good afternoon. Just now on Weibo, some people said that they have been waiting for a very long time to watch this live stream. I also have my Weibo account. I have a lot of interactions with other Weibo users. My fan base has just exceeded 70,000. To some extent, I'm still a newbie on Weibo. I have participated in the R&D and design of all generations of Mi phones. So it's my great pleasure to introduce you the latest version of MIUI. MIUI team is very powerful in R&D. In the past 9 years, we have released 10 versions, and we have developed from the skewer morphism stage to the modern designing stage. Actually, the designing of MIUI is very consistent. In each stage, we have been living up to the highest standards. That is very rare in the designing community in China. Now let's look at MIUI 1 to 5 when we were still in the skewer morphism stage. In that stage, our job is to make people get familiar with the operational system of mobile phones. For instance, when you have conversation with the nature, when you are thirsty, you will ask for a cup of water from a stranger. You may say that, "Hi, I'm really thirsty. Would you please give me a cup of water?" That person might say, "Yes, no problem." But when you are familiar with that person, how would you say that to your friend? You would say that, "Give me a cup of water," and he would say, "Here you are." And this, if you are talking to your families or really good friends, you would say water, and he would say, "Here you are." So in the stage of modern designing, the interface designing aims to make conversations more efficient, just like what has described before. So starting from MIUI 6 all the way to MIUI 10, we have been doing so. So in MIUI 11, we have taken a step further to remove all the visual clutters that exist in MIUI 10 and only keep the core information, making this interface very modern, graceful, and efficient. And you can get focused on the core content on each page. And also we are very careful with color. We removed the sharp colors, and all the colors remaining will shift your attention to the content. So all the colors will make you focus on the key content and the messages here, and also very graceful. And also there are some legacy from the PC era. For instance, the slide bar on the screen, it imitates the function of mouse. For instance, you can click the things as a wish with the mouse. And on MIUI, there are a lot of control buttons or bars, and it has very good haptic experience when you touch these bars or buttons. Actually, this MIUI 11 has taken the our success from MIUI 1 to 5 to a new height. All the interfaces are very exquisite, simple, and efficient. And in the dark mode, it is also very graceful as well, as graceful as a piece of artwork. Now, let's look at font designing. Actually, MIUI is one of the first interface systems in China that provides customized font system. And many other companies have followed the step of MIUI, because customized font can increase the reading experience. So in MIUI 11, we provide MILAN Pro. And in MILAN Pro, we further optimize the font of Chinese characters to make the Chinese characters more beautiful, graceful, when you read them, you feel more comfortable and pleasant. And also, we add a new functionality that is to redesign the font of Western languages and numbers. So in MIUI 11, all the English letters are also shown in a very graceful way. And also the mixed arrangement of Chinese letters and English letters, we also did something to optimize this mixed arrange to make it very pleasant to read. Is that enough? On Weibo, many Weibo users tell us that we want have some thick letters or thick font. In iOS, the solution is that iOS has a switch. You can switch it on to change the text into the bold-faced. But this switch only provides 2 options. That is not enough. But what MIUI provides, at the very beginning, we think we might provide 3 options, but that is also not enough. So we just decided to increase the number of options to 5, and then we started to think about that. Why did we make it remove all the limitations?
In other words, in MIUI, when it comes to adjusting the level of boldness of your font, there's limitless possibility. You can always find a font, the boldness that suits you the best. But then we found another problem. When you have the ability to bold up the letter as much as you want, sometimes it's not really comfortable to look at. So, with MIUI 11, we provide a smart element that can adjust the level of boldness depending on the type of text it is applied to, which means with the titles, the content, the subtitles, the level of boldness with all these is all very different. And with that, we take the level of interaction to the whole different level. Take, for instance, the very first time you can see the boldness can be used in a dynamic manner. For instance, when you try to dial and then when you press it, it boldens up and then it becomes thinner. Such experience was almost unprecedented. For instance, this is how you set the alarm, how you set the clock, and because we paid so much attention to details, this ability to adjust the font weight automatically has won us the 2019 Red Dot Award. And I would also like to add, this is for the very first time for a company from the cell phone business to receive an award in the world of design, and that speaks to our design capability. And now let's run a video for you. Such is MIUI 11, the first ever automatic adjustment of a font weight, the first of its kind in the world. And now about ambient display, you already know this very well. Another associated term here is AOD. Thanks to the recent development of AMOLED, we are able to display basic information on such a display, but because of our desire to constant innovation, we are trying also to add something new here. For instance, the dynamic font display of weather information. But I mean, this has already been achieved, but we do not think that it's enough, because in MIUI 11 we would like to introduce elements of animation. Take for instance, this is a flower, and this is how it blossoms in animated watch on ambient display. As a team with powerful ability to design, we make it happen because of our careful innovation, our attention to details. Take for instance, this spiral shape. We came up with this design because we drew inspiration from the arrangement by which the plant, the leaves grow, and then we introduce that element on the ambient display, turning the display into an art piece. And in the experience, then there are more patterns. So I encourage all of you to explore all those possibilities. And another thing, I don't know how many of you are big fans of a very interesting cell phone cases. A lot of those are available on Taobao, but the problem is, I understand all the texts here are very interesting, but most of them are displayed on the back. But now we want to turn it on the front display. And now, with our ambient display, for the very first time, you get to display all such information on the front of your cell phone. But be careful, this can be very toxic, this can be very addictive, because now the truth is a lot of our colleagues they're designing their own ambient display. For instance, one of my colleagues, Wei, do you know what he displayed on here? He said, finding a way to live, finding a way to survive. And another engineer from our department, what he said produces, what he put here on the display is code. While I think this is not just interesting, but almost encryptic, almost a sort of a secret language between different engineers. The point here is, whatever the message you want to send out, you can write them on your ambient display. For instance, you are the owner of a gold mine. Such is the creation. This text is the creation of a Mr. Lei Jun. And now, the lamp. The lamp that blips at the corner of the film. It used to be a very interesting feature, but I mean, that was in the past, because now the truth is you don't really see this lamp anywhere with a modern design, because everybody wants to go for the very thin edge with no frame, which means that now there is no room for such lamp. But now we bring it back to life. For instance, this is how it looks like. The lamps on, the lamps off, with different visual effect. It looks like almost a starry night. Very cool, very interesting, very visually powerful, especially in the dark. So now you can almost feel this, how the screen is breathing, and when you switch the AOD off, it's equally visually powerful. This is what it looks like. So I strongly recommend you to use it because that is really very interesting. So in MIUI 11 we did a lot to improve its performance, and let me show you what we did with a video. This is what we call the ambient display of the MIUI 11, almost an art piece. This is what we call the ambient display, the kaleidoscope. And now moving on to sound. So please be quiet because we've got a lot of audio effect coming up. But before that, a little bit of background information, how the sound system of the cell phone has evolved over the years. When it first started, it's the monotone range.